Hey guys, welcome back again to my channel. It's your favorite girl, Richie Michaels, in the building. Thank you guys for having me once again. I am super grateful and I do not take this for granted. So guys, on today's episode is titled He Cheated. So let's dive in. So I happen to know this couple. Let's call them Mr. A and Mrs. A. This couple were actually colleagues before marriage. Mr. A happens to be a subordinate to Mrs. A because she's from a very wealthy home and that happens to be her family business. Few months after the marriage, she felt they shouldn't be working together because they are not married, and she spoke to her husband about this, and he didn't protest because he felt her salary is 5 times bigger and better than his. He decided to settle for business. He started searching for business ideas and all of it, and he eventually loved the business of selling electricals. He told his wife about this and she protested against it because she felt he would be too busy for her and the kids when they start coming. So he's like, what do you want me to do? Mr. A being a kind, peaceful man, and she says she wants him to get a supermarket just close to the house and sell groceries and all of it. He insisted that he didn't want it to be close to the house, but after everything, I mean anything for his wife, a man of peace. And guys, fast forward to the next year, they had 2 kids, and that was when things turned around for worse. She became the wife he used to know. She barely does anything. She barely have time for the kids. She barely attends school activities. They barely go to church together. Anything you can think of families do together, they hardly do it. She wasn't working on Saturdays, but now she works on Saturdays. And at some point, he told her that everything was becoming so much for him. It was becoming overwhelming. He can't take care of the kids, make breakfast, lunch, and even bring to her, take to the kids, go to the shop and all of it. He needed someone to assist him, and she protested against it. She didn't want a maid, she didn't want siblings, she didn't want relations. She just wanted them all by themselves, and it kept happening for this. But on a fateful day, a camel's back was broken. Previous night was quite hectic for him, so he was so worn out and he overslept. But this almighty slap woke him early in the morning because he wasn't ready with the breakfast or the kids ready for school. She was so angry and furious that she slapped him, and he wept because he felt so bitter. He didn't know why and what had come over his wife, because this is not who he used to know. She now makes decisions without consulting him. She acts up, not minding his mood. She doesn't have time for him. In fact, they barely slept in the same room. So he was so angry, he felt so bitter. On that particular day, he was taking his kids to school and he ran into his ex, whom he dumped because he wanted to get married to the rich woman. Fortunately, she happens to stay very close to him and they were almost neighbors. They exchanged numbers, and from that moment henceforth, they stayed hanging out together. He felt alive again. He felt colorful again. He was so happy. And one day, something led to the other, and another thing led to the other. And he cheated on his wife for the first time in 6 years. And he was so angry. He felt so sad. He could not keep it to himself. So he broke the news to his wife, and she got so angry, she got so bitter, she was so sick. She felt her world crumbling right beside her. She felt so angry. She said no one dares to break up with her. Nobody dares toys with her emotions. She spoke to her parents. She spoke to her pastors, and they called them for a meeting. And right there, she said she needed a divorce. She was done with the marriage and all of it. And everybody were disappointed for what the husband had done. And they asked him to hear his own side of the story. He narrated his ordeal, whereby she's no longer who he married. She's now a different person. She makes decisions without caring if it affects him or the kids. She doesn't even care anymore. I mean, they sleep together as a couple just once in 4 months according to her calendar. He's a shadow of himself and he doesn't mind walking away. And everybody were disappointed at this woman, and she started crying. That was when she realized she has actually made a mess, and she apologized to her husband. But at this point in time, he said he was done with the marriage and he was tired. After the begging and begging, he insisted that he was done, and they actually opted for a divorce. So So tell me in the comment section, if you're the one, would you give this marriage a second chance? Do you think the man made the best decision? Do you think his wife pushed him away? Do you think his ex coming into the picture destroyed his marriage? Tell me, what do you think? Let me see your answers in the comment section. My opinion, I think he married her for the wrong reasons. Just share your opinion. Thank you for watching.